I've had actual warfare that is coming to my mind right now. I was going through some wild things where before I was back in church and before I was fully protected with the Spirit of God, I was having actual horrific near death experiences, bad stuff with my car. And it was so scary. It was so insane, to be completely honest, that again, I was like going to the tools of God. I had horrific things happen with my car twice. And I remember going, someone just put a curse on me. Someone just did an evil eye. And I got Lady of Lords water and a cross, and I hung it. And to this day, nothing has happened to that car. I put holy water on my car. You have to utilize these tools. It's very real. I'm here to testify. Okay. I'll sprinkle it in I used to sprinkle it in my apartment. I had people around me, unfortunately, doing witchcraft in my building, and I could feel it. Or if somebody walks into the room and they're not a good energy or they're not filled with the Spirit of God, I'll just sprinkle some holy water and it'll cleanse that area, because the demons and the demonic spirits cannot come into that space. These are also tools for spiritual warfare. The biggest one that I want to talk about is the St. Michael Chaplet. The St. Michael Chaplet single handedly saved my life. I use it every morning and every night. Protecting yourself, starting your day off with prayer is the single best thing you can do. You are setting yourself up for success for that day. I had a family friend who I love so much who's in the world of theology, and he was like, Brooke, I don't have time. And I was like, I'm not going to say his name, but I was like, you can do this. Like, just take 10 minutes and do the Mark Wahlberg. I said, Mark Wahlberg's the quickest one on Hallow. I said, his is the shortest. Do his rosary. So he was like, after a couple months, he was like, oh my gosh, Brooke, I did what you said. And like, I can see the difference. And he was so elated. I was so happy for him, because you have to do it. Like, it's your own science project. Take it into your hands and do it. And then you can tell us the results, but there's no way. The world of God is a 1,000,000% success rate. It's not a science project where it might fail half the time. It's 1,000,000,000%. So why wouldn't you put your trust in that? So I'm here to say there was a time where I needed the chaplet. God bless my best friend at the time. He introduced it to me. The very next day I had a breakthrough, saved my life. And from that day forward, I said, Michael, you the man, you my man, you're my archangel. He is like my number one who fights all my battles for me. Him, Raphael, Gabriel, and then all of my guardian angels. It is the best thing. Basically, it's 9 different chaplets of the different choirs of angels. And the layer of protection you receive from the St. Michael chaplet is on a different level. You will notice things go smoother for you. Whether that be, I don't know, maybe you have a boss that you just don't like that constantly is on your case. It's just an example. If you do that chaplet, you'll notice the spirit is different within your boss that day, or something will take away your boss from you. Whatever it is, God will rearrange those pieces of your day to run smoothly and beautifully. So I would say look it up on YouTube, find it, print out that chaplet, start your day with the chaplet. I start my day with the rosary every single day. I get at least 2 rosaries in every single day. Obviously, I wish I could do more. Some days I've done more. For me, I do it at night, especially for a night of peace. If you need prayer, cover yourself in prayer before sleep, because I know I'm not the only one who tosses and turns. So if you're having trouble at night, or if you're having trouble shutting off your mind, for some reason, I've noticed that men have a much easier time shutting their brains off. Am I right, ladies? So if you need to be like me, I cover myself in prayer, and then all of a sudden the brain quiets down and those thoughts quiet. So it's just a really good tool. Throughout your day, say you're having trouble in a store, take out your phone, do what I do. I Google Bible verses for help. Maybe you need some kind of healing. Bible verses for healing when you're sitting in a doctor's appointment. It is, do you understand the power of saying those verses over scrolling and seeing all that crap on Instagram that is just putting you into a coma, killing your brain cells, and doing absolutely nothing for the peace of your life? Verses bring you peace, period. That's all it does. It quiets the mind. It brings the anxiety down. It just levels out your emotions. It makes you so happy and joyful. I am literally a prayer warrior, and I just make sure my day is filled with verses. Remember, spiritual warfare will come before any type of breakthrough, whether that is success in your life, whether it's love, whether it's restoration of things lost, or health, even. I have noticed before and even after breakthroughs. So you could be coming up to one of the biggest moments of your life. Maybe something's going to change for you. And let me tell you, you have to battle through that. Certain things I have learned take extra amount of prayer and perseverance, to the point where it will say if something isn't happening for you, one of the last kind of reservations I would say that you should call upon, fasting. And that is something that took me years to comprehend the power of. And I remember I got to a point where it was a point of such desperation. If you are seeing something and you were like, damn, this is not coming through, it is not happening, and you're at a point you could be crying, you could be in a really dark place, I would say start to look into biblical fasting and find the one that works for you. There's several different fasts you can do. There's different amount of times. There's different diets, like there's spiritual diets that you will eat only specific foods. Every single person and soul is different. That's why I'm saying look into them, Google them. There's one called the Daniel diet. There's just different ones in the Bible that have helped people get through breakthroughs, just like Daniel. Daniel had a huge breakthrough in the Bible and he ate only vegetables and fruit for, so it's like a 21-day diet that you can do. These are all unbelievable weapons that you can fight the enemy with and reach that breakthrough, break through the brick wall and get to the other end and have your happily ever after. These are all tools we're going through right now. I had a bad situation. Listen, I've had a lot. That's what I'm here to testify to. But I remember there was one at work, and prayer rescued me. My mom and I used to pray about a situation, and it took years. It took years for this to be resolved. And when I tell you it was a situation where even the outsiders were saying, sorry, it can't be changed. This is just how it is. And someone was so intertwined in a system that you would think there's no hope. I'm here to tell you, watch your mind be blown. Prepare to have your mind be blown. That's how my God works. He is so unbelievable. There was something that was so victorious to such an evil, evil enemy. I was like, it was one of the biggest things. And I think once you start to see the actual results, you're going to have more and more and more trust in your God to like break those walls down and get you to victory. It just takes so much. And this is something I wanted to warn people about when I was going through some really tough times and I was starting to look at fasting. To be completely honest, it was one of the worst times in my mind. And I remember Googling it. I was like, is anyone else like, do you experience such horrific warfare when you're fasting? And people were like, oh my gosh, on like Quora or whatever, I found these articles and all these people were like, I became suicidal. Like I thought I was gonna die and all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is real. Like it's real because I was seeing it. So Don't underestimate, unfortunately, don't underestimate the opposition of the enemy. But then again, don't underestimate the power of our God and how he can triumph. It just takes perseverance. It takes strength like you've never had before, especially if it's something you want with your whole soul and there's just someone out there, some kind of force that doesn't want you to have that. They try, oh, this is good. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy that this just popped into my mind. There was a girl and I loved her so much. She came into my life, sent from God and the heavens above. She was helping me when I had a really bad accident. She was praying with me. She was introducing me to the Bible and the Word of God. She is like a prophet herself. And she used to say, I'm not going to lie, she used to say this Bible verse. She would go, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, Brooke. And she would say it so much that I was starting to get weirded out. I was like, I'm just being honest right now because I want you guys to feel that way. In case somebody's out there like, what is Brooke talking about? You you might feel this way about this spiritual warfare episode, for example. But then, like 4 years down the road, when you're actually going through something and you've come further along in your journey, you're going to be like, oh, shoot. Oh my gosh, what she was saying is so real. And this girl she said it so much that I was like, what is she talking about? Like, what enemy is coming to kill, steal, and destroy? like, ease up on me, girl. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. But then I saw it firsthand when I became such a woman of God and went so deep to find my path to everlasting life that I realized this enemy is no joke. He is trying to kill me. He is trying to steal my joy, and he has come to destroy my life. So, if you're not guarded with these tools, you can really be in darkness. So, I'm here to be like, grab the rope. Let me pull you out. I believe that dying to the flesh is very vital and important when fighting the enemy. Now, I didn't really know what that term meant for a long time. When you learn about it, your flesh is your your body, okay? The physical body that you are in. And what the flesh wants is sex, it wants food, it wants anger, jealousy, greed, a need for control, vanity, idolatry, sorcery, strife, envy, drunkenness, and orgies. Okay. And you see this biblical concept primarily in Paul's letters. And it really, like, he talks a lot about the flesh and how it represents a very self centered, fallen human nature opposed to a spiritual, God centered living. We're in a world right now that has taught us the opposite of what it you need to learn to get to live forever. The world teaches you you need to be all about yourself. You need to be obsessed with outer beauty. You need to compete. You need to top the other. You need to be the top dog. You need to one up the other person. You need to engage in sex because you're craving it right now. So you obviously got to get some right now. You need food. You're starving. Oh my gosh. Please overindulge. Go for it. Have a feast. These are things that I'll try and put it into simpler terms are going to prevent you from having clarity of mind, body, and soul. You want to make your body, the temple of God, a very pure vessel. In order to do these things, you have to die to the flesh. These are things that take a long time, in my opinion. It took me a long time. And it was something, again, I was being very guided by the Spirit to die to the flesh in like so many aspects. And each one was like a cool adventure, but like an adventure that was hell. Like it was really tough to die to the flesh. I still struggle with it. And I'm like, consider myself a warrior, but I still struggle. It is a constant battle. It's just that, again, like an athlete, if you train yourself and you go and you get up in the morning and you do those exercises every day, you're going to get better and better, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. And that's what I can impart to all of you.